Hello and welcome. So very recently I found myself in the predicament of needing a particular color candle and not having one, and not having enough plain white wax to make one. I had just got through making a bunch of candles and I didn't have enough. So I want to share with you today exactly what I did and how I made a really great candle with basically leftover wax. I don't want to say leftover wax. Well, you'll just see. So I did a 3-part series of videos on court justice spells. The first one was call for justice. The second one was to stop the lies of the accuser. And the third one was for a just and fair judge. I did the first 2 spells, and I did the spell not as an instruction, like a tutorial. I just did the spell, and then I was going to go back and do voiceovers and all that, and I'm still going to do that. The third one that I did, I lost it. Something happened with the drive and it corrupted my video, which was agonizing. But I said to myself, I'm going to go ahead and do the video, but I'm going to do it as a tutorial because I already did the spell work. It's done and finished. And I don't want to pretend like I'm doing the spell in accordance with the other ones, because that's not what happened. So, that being said, I'm going to need a candle to fill in for the one that I already used, that I had to make anyways. So basically this is you may have heard of a just judge candle. I wanted something very similar, a justice candle. So this is a receptacle that I chose, and it's a call for truth and justice. So I want my candle to be orange because that is the color of justice. That's the color that is normally used in legal spells, court spells. It's kind of traditional, either that or red, and I like the tradition. I like what the color orange represents, what it stands for, and so I wanted that color. However, I wanted mine to be a little bit different because I want it to be a layered candle. I want the first layer to be black. This is going to absorb negativity, banish negativity. Then I want the orange, and then I want white to restore positivity and all those things that were taken with the accusations that were made in this legal fiasco. But here's the tricky part. I want to make the black, I want to burn the orange every day. I want to burn this for 3 days up to the day of the court hearing. So, but I want it to be black and orange burnt on the first day. Then I want it to be all orange, and then on the last day I want it to be orange and white. So in addition to being able to pick my colors and how I want them, I'm also going to be able to load this candle with additional herbs and oils and make it more powerful, fortify my intention further, gather more energy, layers and layers of energy. So the first thing that I had to do was find some wax that I could use. Now I save wax from my cubes, wax cubes. Sometimes it seems like you burn all the oil right out of these cubes and they don't really burn well. But usually they do. But I had a bunch of spell candles, like this one that I'm going to be using right here. This is a little white candle, and this one, I can't really remember exactly what this one is. Probably has Jesus or Mary on it. So I buy these. These small ones are really, really inexpensive. At the dollar store, you can get these candles, the big ones, for $1, $1.50. At Walmart, I think they're $2. They're very inexpensive, and they come in so many different colors. They come in great colors. They come in great colors, and they're very useful for intention, for color magic in that regard. So, I'm gonna get my gloves on. Luckily, I had a little white one that I could use. And that's what I'm going to use for the first layer. And I really need to put down a little piece of paper. And then how hot is this? Not hot. So in the first layer, before we do any of that, we have to put in our wick. That would be a disaster. So I was watching YouTube not too very long ago, and I saw this man do this trick to get the wick in, and it was really quite genius. And he has a YouTube channel, and I think his name is Stanley, or that's his last name. But he's great ideas, and this one was so great. It worked so perfectly. I tried it like the very next time that I made candles. So I don't remember the name of the channel exactly, but I do remember his last name was Stanley. You take a pin and you take all this stuff out of it to where you just have the shell. And you take your wick and you're going to insert it into this hollowed out pin. I think I do it this way. It's easier. You take your wick dot and you're going to put it on the end of your wick. So now you have this little, this was smart. This was smart. This shows me exactly where I need to go. And there we go. Now it's exactly in the middle. And then you just pull your pin straight out. Man, that has really saved me a lot of grief. So I'm supposed to say thank you to him if I never watch this, but then you put your wick into this centering. If you don't have one of these things, get one because they're really cheap. But if you don't have one handy at the moment, you can use I use popsicle sticks because I am terribly unorganized and I lose these things all the time, even though I have 20 of them. And so I'll just use something like this. It lays flat. You can wrap the wick around it. Easy peasy. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wax here, put this in, and I want to make sure that I get it to the line. Don't really want to splash everywhere. Okay, I think I got. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside because I don't need it. It's not going to take very long for this to dry, so I want to get just a little bit of my herbs in there. So in this one, I'm doing a little bit of rosemary for protection. I have vervain. You don't want to put a whole lot of herbs in this because you don't want it to burn, catch a fire, but you want to get the intention in there. You want to set forth your, it's this great energy. Okay, so in here I put rosemary for protection. I put horehound, and I put vervain. All of these things are for protection, for clarity. Okay, so I'm going to wait for this to cool down completely. It doesn't have to be hard, but it has to be cool enough to where I can put another layer and it's not going to bleed through. So we're going to wait for this to manifest into a solid and then we'll be right back. Okay, so I think that it is hard enough, solid enough to add the orange. So I didn't have any orange wax, but I did have yellow, and I have yellow or orange dye rather. That's not the right one. Okay. So now I'm going to add some mica powder to this. This is all orange. I was going to add just a little bit of red, just in case it wasn't orange enough. It looks like it's going to be. But just in case, I'm going to add just like the smallest smidgen. Just like this. Now I'm going to mix it and I'm going to see what it looks like. And I think I kind of want to put just a little bit more red because I would like to be maybe an orange red. So let's see what that did. So pretty, and it's real shiny. I love it. And I'm going to go all the way up to, this is a little bit hotter. It's been in there longer and it's more. I'm going all the way up to this black line right here. I'm going to just below it, actually. And then I'm going to have the same amount of the white and black. Okay, let me be real careful. It'd be better to do this with a pot holder or something with a handle, but I don't have that. Let me see where I'm at on it. So pretty. It really is pretty. I'm pretty close. I think I want to add just the tiniest bit more. Just the tiniest. Okay. So, let me set this wax to the side as well. I can make a whole nother candle. Probably a smaller one, but another candle nonetheless. Now I want to deal with some herbs to put into this because I don't want to put the herbs in too soon and they all just sink down to the bottom. But I think it's ready. I want to put calendula. Calendula is a common herb used in court spells, legal spells, because of the mind aspect. The clarity of mind. It is also for courage. To keep you mentally sharp. So I'm going to put plenty of calendula in there. And I'm going to put a little bit on top of the very top of the candle, so I don't I'm going to put too much. I'm going to put chamomile. And this is called buckthorn. Buckthorn is another herb that has traditionally been used in legal justice spells. And it's really pretty. This is the bark. Okay. So this candle's going to go with the just judge aspect of my 3-part spells. And let me tell y'all something, these were powerful spells. I had so much passion for it. My intent was intense. I had so much, I was grounded, but I had a lot of emotion. Because when you were wronged, truly wronged, it's hard to accept, it's hard to deal with, and it's hard to understand. But some people are just not nice. Some people are just not nice, so that's all I'm going to say about that. But you will see this candle whenever I do the Just Judge tutorial. It's going to be different than the first 2 spells that or videos that I did, because those are that's the real deal. Those are the ones that pertain. The tutorial's actually after the fact, and it's such a shame, because I really feel like that I feel like it was a good video, and I hate that. So it's going to be a good while before these candles melt down. I'm thinking about taking them and putting them in the microwave, but we'll be right back. So I thought I was recording when I poured the black in there just now, but I wasn't. So when I turned it off, I thought I actually turned it on to record. But anyway, I just poured my little bit of black in here, and I might have a little bit left so you can see. Okay, there we go. It's a little bit uneven now, but I wanted you to see me pour it on there. I'm going to add a little bit of white carnation, and this is for innocence, and a little bit of calendula, and then if it doesn't stay on there, I'll add a little bit more. And when it hardens a little bit, cools, then I'm going to put some red jasper on top, and then our candle will be ready. Okay, so now we're going to do the unveiling of sorts. So here's what our candle looks like, and it hasn't tunneled or dipped or anything. It's very smooth on top. Hopefully it'll stay like that. If it doesn't, I'll just melt the top of it a little bit. And then I'm going to set some red jasper. I have a piece of clear quartz, and it looks like maybe a dark amethyst. And I'm just going to put these kind of back away from the wick. And there we go. So this is our final result of our candle that we made. It looks a little bit like a Halloween candle, but it is going to serve our intent and purpose perfectly. The black on top has a purple sheen to it, so not only is it going to absorb negativity, it's also going to help you connect with your spirituality. The orange is for courage, it's for victory in your legal pursuits. And then the white at the very bottom is going to help to restore peace and positivity into your life. So basically, I'm going to burn 3 days, the black and the orange, just the orange, and then the orange and white. And the next time you see this candle, I will be doing a tutorial on a just judge legal spell. I hope you enjoyed this video and how to make your candle out of something other, if you don't have any bulk wax available, to just use what you have. Use what you have on hand. Almost every witch that I know has spell candles. Even if she doesn't do a lot of spells, she still has chime candles. So you can use those. You can use taper candles. Just make sure that your colored tapers are not white in the middle, because that happened to me. And use what you have on hand. If you don't have mica powder or alcohol ink to dye your candle wax, you can use crayons, or you can use colored chime candles. It's going to be probably a little bit lesser of a color, especially if your candles are white, but the intent's going to be there. The psychology of the colors are going to be there. So I do hope you enjoyed this video and got something out of it, and I hope to see you again really soon. Thank you.